A lot of people ask the question, they say, "Hey Sam, why don't you make videos about the problems that Tesla vehicles have?" And I say, well, about 1 million people do that. The media makes a song and a dance about Tesla issues, and unfortunately 9 out of 10 of them are just fake. The truth is, yes, there's plenty of issues with Teslas, as there are with any other car. But like I said, you can simply Google them and you'll find 1 million responses. It's one of those things that is major clickbait. However, as a result of Tesla drawing so many eyeballs and therefore so much being made of so many issues with Tesla vehicles, it's actually hard to tell what is true and what's not. And what this means is there's really an unfair examination of Tesla vehicles in comparison to others. I think it's actually interesting we point out this. How many of you have heard of the recall, the forced recall, of Hyundai's ICC units, which are basically killing Hyundai's new electric cars? Yeah, I thought not. It's, in fact, very, very widely unreported. In fact, if you Google this, you'll find very little from the mainstream media. In fact, you'll find nothing from the mainstream media. So what's going on with Hyundai's EVs? Why are they being bricked? Here's what's happening, and here's what Hyundai's response has been. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. I hope they gave you a bit of an explanation of why I don't generally report on the litany of issues that are brought up by the media on Tesla cars. Now, like I said, I think a lot of them are just kind of clickbait issues, and there are some real ones, but you'll find plenty of sources and there'll be plenty of information that you'll get about those issues, but not so much on this. What's been happening to the problems in Korean electric cars. So I think my favorite looking EV, it has been breaking down a fair bit. And what's the reason? Well, the lovable retro futuristic hatchback-ish EV and the very first car built on Hyundai's new eGMP platform capable of 350 kilowatt fast charging, which has pixelated taillights, bold sharp lines on its sides and a very cool retro look, has had some pretty significant issues recently. As cool as this car is, we're learning from cars owners, not the media, unfortunately owners are having to tell us this, that some Ioniq 5s have a serious flaw, and yours could develop it as well. People from the United States and Korea are going on about being stranded by their EVs. Here's what we know. Right now, there's class action lawsuits going on. People are saying it's not fair. Some owners, even here in Australia, have not had their cars for months as a result of problems with the ICCU. Across the internet, Ioniq 5 owners are complaining about a complete loss of power that's leaving them stranded. What's the cause? Well, it's a component called the Integrated Charging Control Unit, which is tasked with charging both the high voltage battery that drives the electric motor and the 12-volt battery that powers the car's cabin accessories, among other components. Here's Hyundai's description of the ICCU. The integrated charging system, newly developed by Hyundai Motor Group, charges both high voltage batteries and spare batteries in a vehicle. Now, I want to, before I go on with this, point out that Kia Hyundai have blamed owners for the problems with 12-volt batteries. Owners are saying, no, we're not doing what you're saying we've been doing. So owners are getting a bit frustrated and angry. And I think a lot of the causes for the 12-volt battery problems are not caused by owners, but actually caused by issues with the ICCU. But that's my speculation. I'm not sure on that. Hyundai says that the ICCU allows discharge of the high voltage battery to components other than 12-volt battery, which it charges through its DC to DC converter. Now, Hyundai says it has some advantages, but clearly it has some disadvantages like breaking down. Hyundai said, unlike previous EVs, which only accept one-way charging, the eGMP's charging system is more flexible. The eGMP's newly developed integrated charging control unit represents an upgrade from existing onboard chargers, which typically only allow electricity to flow in a single direction from an external power source. The ICCU enables a new vehicle to load or V2L function, which can additionally discharge energy from the vehicle's battery without additional components. This is a good feature, but it enables EVs based on the eGMP platform to operate other electric machinery, anywhere from 110 to 220 volts. This system can even be used to charge another EV, which is a big advantage really. However, it can cause problems as well. So how are these problems occurring? Well, the electrical components within the ICCU are liquid cooled, and this is where the problems begin. A number of sources say that a manufacturing flaw, perhaps having to do with welding, has allowed coolant to leak into the device's electrical parts. Once that happens, the ICCU's ability to charge the car's 12-volt battery is gone, leading to dead screens, windows, climate controls, shifters, anything. Everything just stops working. The car's completely bricked. And yeah, that ain't great, because sometimes owners are blamed and they're told that, hey, the problem is you're putting too much power into the 12-volt battery. You need to change your habits, change your ways, replace the 12-volt battery, everything will be okay. Well, that doesn't fix the issue. Last year, news agency United Press International's Korean reporters said that Hyundai has acknowledged a coolant leak in the Hyundai Ioniq 5. Here are the paragraphs in their article. Hyundai is under fire from customer complaints that the Ioniq 5 leaks coolant within the first months of usage. Acknowledging the issue, a Hyundai Motor spokesman said Friday the leakages can be attributed to problems in production, including poor circulation at the coolant due to failure of the water pump, but that chances of a fire occurring are slim. Good to know they're slim. Now, in my opinion, here's a big problem. Hyundai have done what Mercedes have done. They're aware there was a problem a long time ago, and they've simply failed to correct this at the manufacturing level. They made really, as far as I can tell, no massive changes. In fact, no changes to fix this issue, just hoping that it doesn't happen to your EV. And that means that if you buy one, it could happen to you. There's just no way for anyone to really know. Kia EV6 forums, Hyundai Ioniq forums, and Reddit all include threads that mention a coolant leak as the primary cause of the ICCU failures. In fact, the Autopian says that some of these threads point out an apparent recall being instituted in Korea, with a link to a Korean forum about this issue. So this problem is not confined, unfortunately, to the Hyundai Ioniq 5. It's, in fact, a problem that can occur in any Hyundai and any Kia electric car. Well, that's according to forums anyway. Here's what the company had to say. This bulletin provides information to inspect and, if necessary, replace the electric power control unit, the EPCU, assembly on certain Nero EVs, so Kias as well, starting from June 18 to 2020 through to September 4, 2020. The EPCU assembly in the subject vehicles may have been produced with improper sealing. Due to this improper sealing, coolant can internally leak and cause problems. So it seems as though improper sealing in all Hyundai and Kia EVs can cause various problems in their electric cars. And well, some people have been emailing me now sporadically over the past 12 months telling me that I should be saying something about the problems in their Kia and their Hyundai EVs, and I'm not doing enough. So hopefully this kind of does something to address these issues, because it seems as though this is an ongoing saga for owners of Kia and Hyundai electric cars. Now, the reality is here though, it's actually quite complicated, because most of the issues in the United States are apparently not coolant related. I'm not going to go into the details any more than this, but owners have been stranded. There's been various communications coming from Hyundai and Kia. It seems like it's quite a complex issue here, and that there isn't any possible guaranteed solution. And maybe that's why Hyundai and Kia haven't fixed what they're doing on the production line, which can cause these issues. Now, I just noticed a Facebook post within the past 24 hours from Australians saying that their EVs have been recalled. Their cars were bricked, newer cars, right? Obviously much newer than these Kia Niros that have had similar problems, and they've had no EVs or no cars for several months. They've said that their dealings with Hyundai have been very challenging. Now, I've got to assure you that it seems as though almost every automaker can be difficult to deal with warranty issues. It's rare to get one that's easy to deal with. My experience in dealing with LDV recently has been not the best as well. Now, here's an interesting comment. Someone said this on a forum. On the 30th of April, my Hyundai Ioniq 5 came up with an EV system fault, but was still drivable. After a short while, my 12-volt battery red warning came up saying stop the vehicle. The car went in for repair and was diagnosed with an ICCU failure. I was told this was coming from South Korea and wouldn't be in the country until the end of August, as in 4 months later. Now, obviously, this person doesn't get to have their car for 4 months. It's pretty frustrating, or possibly longer than that. Here was a response. Unfortunately, you're far from the only one to experience this issue. When was your car manufactured? How long have you had it? And how many miles are on it? There seems to be a trend where they are failing around 11 to 12 months. So, it seems common then that Kia and Hyundai EVs, with this issue, the issue will likely pop up at around 11 to 12 months of ownership. Now, I'm hoping that's not you. I hope that hasn't happened to you, and hopefully it won't happen to anyone you know either, but this fault, unfortunately, doesn't seem to be going away. Now, there is currently an NHTSA investigation into power loss in the Kia EV6 and the Hyundai Ioniq 5, allowed pop noise, a loss of power, various problems. But I think it's worth considering the fact that we do blast Tesla quite frequently, but I'm going to guess that probably 95% of people, if not more, of viewers who watch this channel and probably electric car fans have never heard about any of these issues. Therefore, it's probably important you know that it doesn't matter what EV you buy, all of them can potentially have problems. Now, my personal reason for being a big advocate of, say, companies like Tesla is just the likelihood of things going wrong. And the reason I say that is I've been a member of some Tesla Facebook groups, not fan clubs, but groups where they actually report the mileage of EVs and the things that have had to be fixed and replaced over the last 5 to 10 years. I can assure you that people post on a regular basis. And the reality is here that 98% of owners have never had to do anything other than just very basic things that, like changing tires and not even changing brake pads. And that's after 100,000 plus miles. I think that Tesla's getting an unfair rap, and that it's only fair the media treat everyone with the same brush. That will never happen though, and we all know why, because when it leads, it bleeds, or it bleeds, it leads, or whatever you want to call it, but you get my point here. Anyhow, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.